Welcome everybody, and thanks for joining today's webinar. I know we all have been on lots of these over the past few years, some of them a little bit more entertaining than others, but hopefully we can not bore you to death and keep you entertained on this one. As Amanda said, my name is Joshua King. I'm a business development rep here on the Windows 11 and device partner sales team at TD SYNNEX. And prior to this role, I was with the Modern Workplace and CSP doing SaaS for 5 years. And I'm going to be co-presenting with Jack today. He's one of TD SYNNEX's more tenured solutions architects. So we've got him on here, going to touch on the M365 Copilot portion of things and do some demos with you guys. So it should be fun and interactive here. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get today started and discuss how Copilot Plus PCs are running on the Windows 11 Pro with Copilot for M365, and basically they're revolutionizing productivity, security, and innovation. So they're at the lead of the game now. Pretty soon we won't have anything else being built other than these Copilot Plus PCs. So this session's basically here to help you guys understand what makes these devices paired with the software so unique and how they fit into your business strategy, and basically how to position them effectively across the vertical that you're in. This is the TD SYNNEX Windows 11 DPS team, and we're just a strategic overlay, basically not your normal DPS position, but we lay across all the hardware OEMs and silicon vendors. And again, with my background in the CSP area with SaaS, we kind of cross over into that realm as well, because these things kind of all pair together, as you guys know. But our primary goal is to help accelerate into device refresh, migration, and modernization with the new landscape that's being built now. So again, today's focus is going to be the Copilot Plus PC. But let's not forget to talk about, making strategic choices with the Windows 11 Pro. That adds a lot of the features aimed at the business users and IT professionals, and it includes a lot of advanced security tools. Everybody's familiar with BitLocker, but Windows information protection, safeguarded data, etc. A lot more included in the Pro version. And Pro also does support joining corporate networks via domains or Entra ID for that matter. And it does offer that more remote desktop functionality for remote work. So these enhancements make Windows 11 Pro suitable for professional environments, while the Windows 11 Home targets, more of your everyday personal computing. And the Copilot Plus PCs are purpose-built to take advantage of all the new advances in AI that are coming out, guys. So they're future-proof, and they're business-ready for cloud management and hybrid AI scenarios, so there's no excuse there. And with the Windows 11 Pro, it provides the best experience paired with the Copilot Plus PCs. So what is a Copilot Plus PC? A lot of people may not actually know this. Copilot Plus PCs, they've been out for a very small period of time compared to your AI devices that have been out. And why is it so important now, right? But Copilot Plus PCs are a relatively new class of AI-powered devices, and they come equipped with a NPU. It's a neural processing unit, exactly capable of 40 plus trillion operations per second. So that's 40 tops. And unlike traditional PCs, these devices run AI workloads locally. So that means faster performance, that means enhanced privacy, offline functionality, and they're also designed to handle simple tasks like manage image generation, real-time translation, intelligent search, even without relying on the cloud. And they're also capable of doing a lot more complicated tasks, tasks such as dumping data into an Excel spreadsheet and instructing Copilot to sort the data based on the way that you want it to be viewable or a certain formula or algorithm. And or replying to an email for you. I have it reply to emails for me all the time, especially the short and simple ones, and then having it refine even more formal business emails as well to make them nice and neat and tight. But Copilot can even attend meetings and Teams for you if you're on the right version and you have the right licensing. And if you're double booked, like I said, with it attending those meetings, it can take notes for you. And whenever you're done, you can check on the deliverables and any action items that you need to do without even ever having attended that meeting. So it can do quite a bit paired with those Copilot Plus PCs. So why now, right? Well, I'm sure it's no shock to anybody on this call, and we've probably had several conversations with you about it already. Windows 10 reaches into support on October 14th this year. So, guys, that's less than 2 months away, and most businesses that haven't started a migration process or even mid-migration process just from Windows 10 to the Windows 11 OS, it can take anywhere from 6 to 10 to even 12 months. In some cases, depending on how much support that you have internally or how much you leverage Datalink and any other resources that you have. So businesses need to start planning their refresh cycles now to avoid last minute disruptions. Copilot Plus PCs offer that future-proof solution that aligns with this transition, guys, and it ensures that the teams are equipped with the AI-driven workplace. So upgrading actually to a Copilot Plus PC is the fast track to getting into Windows 11 Pro and future-proofing that device for years to come. With devices having most of them having had a refresh during the COVID period, we're at that point now where it's time to start looking at device refresh as well. And if you're going to be taking a look at the device refresh, taking a look at the Copilot Plus PCs for only a few $100s more to last the extra few years that you're going to get out of them, as well as the additional compute power that you get from the NPU, is huge. So it's well worth taking a look at while you're shopping around for new devices for everybody. And let's not forget, some of these older devices can't even take the Windows 11. So that being said, that says why now. Let's talk a little bit more about the capabilities and security and compliance that it offers. So the devices come with recall. Not sure if anybody on the call knows what that is, but basically it lets users search their timeline visually. Co-creator in Paint enables image generation from text prompts. Studio Effects enhance video calls with automatic framing, background blur, etc. And then live caption translation, spoken content from 40 plus languages in real time, guys. So all of this is powered by the NPU, right? It's fast, it's secure, it's local. Basically all day battery life when you're operating on that. So your laptop's not dying on you every 15, 20 minutes like a lot of these devices do nowadays. So to optimize the technology roadmap, consider integrating the Copilot Plus PCs into the IT solution stack, even if it's only for, executive level membership of the team. Because with the Copilot Plus PC, you also have the flexibility to take advantage of both AI in the cloud, on the device, including new AI enhanced applications that are coming out, designed basically for you to run your business and your organization more proficiently. So if you're creating your own in-house applications, you'll be pleased to know that you can actually use the Windows Copilot runtime to actually design your apps that take advantage of the NPU for that. And then take advantage of the NPU for chat, analytics, image recognition, so much more. But by choosing Copilot Plus PCs, you can ensure your organization is equipped with the latest technology to drive innovation and efficiency for you guys. So along with that, they provide the most advanced Windows security safeguard sensitive data and protect the business from stealthy cyber threats, which nobody's really, immune to nowadays. Anybody can get hit at any time. So with the Copilot Plus PCs, you're ready for the next wave of AI enhanced business apps. With Copilot Plus PCs, you get that built-in Microsoft Pluton and secured core PC architecture. And they offer the commercial data protection that ensures sensitive information stays local, like I said. That way it ensures all of the organization's data is stored locally there. And this is especially critical for industries like healthcare, finance, basically anywhere that compliance and data integrity are paramount. And we'll go over a couple of those here towards the end of the presentation for you guys too, so you can kind of take a look and see how that works. But again, to touch on the security, the slide highlights the leading Windows 11 Pro device designed for business and professional users with an emphasis on performance, security, and secured core and Pluton technologies. The AI enhancements like Copilot Plus PC and versatile design basically to suit all different work styles. And not to mention, these devices support seamless integration with M365 and cloud services. So that ensures the productivity and the security for enterprise environments as well. Um, a little bit more about the Copilot Plus PC security, Secure Core PC. The Secure Core PCs are devices that come with layers of security, and they're already enabled, basically, including firmware protection, and that basically, as you guys know, probably provides the highest level of Windows protection out of the box. And then Copilot Plus PCs also include the Microsoft Pluton security processor. The Secure Score PC and Pluton are two distinct complementary Windows security offerings that can be used together for more comprehensive protection that come in that Copilot Plus PC. So the Pluton is a security processor designed by Microsoft, and it's built by Silicon partners. It's integrated directly into the CPU, and it provides that additional layer of protection for credentials and other sensitive data, and that helps prevent breaches even on stolen devices. So Pluton also receives updates directly from the Windows Update platform. So it's also used as a TPM or with a discrete TPM. Business value. Why is this all important to you guys, right? Well, because Copilot Plus PCs boost productivity, faster AI responses, reduce cloud dependency, and associated costs, and that all improves privacy by keeping data on the device. These benefits translate into real ROI for you guys, especially when scaled across different departments, as I mentioned. And just to give you guys a look at what Forrester says about that, Microsoft commissioned Forrester to conduct a total economic impact exam and the potential ROI of adopting Copilot Plus PCs. The purpose, basically, of the study is to show you guys why you want to do it and provide the readers with framework to evaluate the potential financial impact of Copilot Plus PCs to their organization. So to better understand the benefits, costs, and risks associated with the investment, Forrester interviewed 9 decision makers with experience using Copilot Plus PCs for the purpose of this study. And then Forrester aggregated the interviewees' experiences and combined the results into a single composite organization. And basically, it's a global organization with 2,000 employees and 1 billion in annual revenue. And you can see projected return on ROI is 137 to 367%. Now, again, scalable across a large number here, but I'm sure you guys can see the economic impact here. So let's compare the different copilots. Everybody hears Copilot this, Copilot that. Some people get it mixed up with Chat GPT. But let's talk about the Copilot comparison, a little bit about adoption, or a little bit about the Microsoft ecosystem support in the next section here. So talking a little bit about the Copilot chat here for a second, because I know Jack's going to go into it a little further, but Copilot chat is grounded in web data and works across Windows, while the M365 Copilot integrates with your work data, emails, documents, calendars, etc. But it offers an app-level intelligence and enterprise-grade security as well. So this distinction basically helps guide customers towards the right solution based on their own specific needs. Chat is free. It's a much better alternative that we find to other offerings on the market, and it removes a lot of the risk of shadow AI that everybody needs to be on the lookout for. And we'll go over that a little bit more as well later in the deck. But with the M365 Copilot, it's paid for license that pairs with your Copilot Plus PC and the Microsoft applications within, giving you the app level intelligence along with enterprise grade security, again, that we talked about across all of those. And then let's take a good look at the adoption strategy for you guys. If you haven't already started, if you don't have any adoption of Copilot yet, a lot of businesses are going to start, especially SMB or even enterprise alike, when they don't know where to begin. providing some, direction in this and making sure that you have the right device and or OS, you can start with Copilot in Windows. So it's built right into the OS. After that, you layer in the M365 Copilot license for that deeper integration, and then use Recall and Co-Creator to showcase the power of AI, of the local AI. So encourage pilot programs, guys, internal champions inside the organization to drive adoption for you guys, people that understand it, and you can help use as ambassadors of your own internal organization to help spread it around. But TD SYNNEX also offers enablement resources to Datalink that we can help you guys out with and help support the journey for you guys. And we can share those with you at the end of the deck, and I'm sure Datalink can get you in touch with that stuff as well. So another reason why this is important is because you guys probably use a lot of third-party apps you don't know, maybe even just a few, but they're major. So just so you know, Microsoft has actually partnered with over 500 ISVs to optimize their apps for Copilot Plus PCs. This includes Adobe, McAfee, CrowdStrike, just to name a couple of the big ones. And there are so much more, and they are adding more all the time. Basically, these partnerships ensure that your favorite tools are enhanced by the AI, right? Delivering seamless experiences across workflows. And like I said, this number of ISVs grows drastically each month. So that is that for me. I'm going to go ahead and hand this presentation over to Jack so he can cover the M365 Copilot piece and how it fits in with the Copilot Plus PCs with Windows 11 Pro here for you.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh. Hey, everybody. My name is Jack. I will here quick get to one of my other slides here for Copilot. Yeah. So again, thank you all so much for joining us today. So like I said, my name's Jack. I sit on the technical side of our TD SYNNEX team. So doing a lot more of the technical portions of our webinars and things like that. And so a lot of what we've been talking about to customers just like you is Copilot, right? I mean, Copilot's everywhere. Josh has talked about it. There's so many different variations and versions and things like that. So trying to narrow down that scope can be really difficult. And so what I want to focus on today is just the ones that sort of affect us in our day-to-day work, right? Our 9-to-5s, right? So maybe some of you are already familiar, or maybe not. That's totally okay. So I just want to do a quick kind of review of Copilot, and then we'll go into some of the differences between, Copilot and then Copilot Chat and how those kind of interact together. We'll talk about some security with Copilot and how it's maintaining security compared to other models on the market. And then I'll talk about a little bit how Copilot kind of gains some performance from Windows 11 and from our Copilot Plus PCs. So M365 Copilot combines large language models, your Microsoft Graph data, so all of your business data, emails, and OneDrive files and things like that, along with the web, so getting constantly up-to-date information from web sources, puts all of those pieces into your M365 apps that you use every day, right? Like Teams and Excel, Outlook, you name it. Now, the best part about this tool, in my opinion, is that it uses your natural language to work or operate. So, essentially you speak or type to it like an assistant. And M365 Copilot is that AI assistant at work helping you in your day-to-day. So it's really designed to help you save time and energy at work, especially around repetitive tasks, brainstorming, research, things like that. It's a very helpful tool. It's something that I use every single day in my work. And, as our entire team of engineers, we all use it every single day. We all have, we sell Copilot, so it makes sense for us to have licenses. And it's been such an amazing tool for our entire team. And so I know we touched briefly on Copilot Chat, but I wanted to, kind of break down how these are different, right? Because of course the Copilot name is very confusing, and so focusing on what kind of affects us at work, right? We have our M365 Copilot, that's that full paid version. And then you get the Copilot Chat, which is the free version. So the beauty of Copilot Chat is that it is free and it's available to all M365 users. So whether you have a business license or an office license, it doesn't matter. It's available to you. You can go and use that today for free. So of course there are limitations on the free model. It's sort of like a Copilot Lite, if you will. And this chart kind of breaks that down, right? And we don't have to go over every single line, but the important piece to kind of note is that Copilot Chat really wants to compare itself to how the free ChatGPT and Google Gemini and things like that operate in the market. So they sort of want to, Microsoft of course wants people to their Microsoft users to use all their products. And this is kind of no exception, but there's some really important security reasons behind that. And I'll explain that in the next couple slides. But one of the biggest things, of course, that you gain with the paid Copilot version is that personal assistant features, right? So the biggest one being Copilot being able to reason over your personal work data. So all of your Outlook emails and Teams meetings, OneDrive files, things like that. You're giving, Copilot has access to those to sort of turn on those AI features with your data, right? That's a very powerful work tool. And then of course you have all of your Copilot and your different apps like Teams and Word, Excel, PowerPoint, things like that. And then even agents. So, if agents are something that you're kind of interested in or have seen and you're like, oh man, I want to start using that, then some of those pre-built agents from Microsoft are included in your full Copilot license. And I've used some of those before, and they're very cool. They're very good at what they're designed to do. So speaking from a data protection standpoint, so the reason why we always kind of talk to folks about, regardless of if you're on a paid Copilot version or you don't have a Copilot license, how it's still important to use the Copilot Chat at work is because of this data protection. So it's been a big issue now with AI becoming, very popular, right? A lot of people are using it every day in kind of their personal lives, and then we still have folks who are, of course, using it at work to help them with work. And it's great on the surface, right? Obviously we want our employees and ourselves to be more efficient at work. We don't want to spend a ton of time on all these repetitive tasks and research and things like that. But there's kind of a big misconception with some of these free models, like a free ChatGPT or a free Google Gemini, around the data and how those models actually handle data. And so what a lot of folks don't know is that those free models are training on the data constantly. And so if you were to load up the free version of ChatGPT and then you put in any sort of information into the prompt that goes to ChatGPT, then at some point that data is going to become public knowledge. So that model will have knowledge of any sort of information that you put in there. Maybe you've seen a couple of stories just on the news about people using, like a good example is people using ChatGPT as like a therapist, right? And so they'll put in all this information, personal information about themselves and what they're dealing with and what they're going through. And a couple months later, or sometimes even just a few weeks later, when that model is then next trained and updated on information, then that data is then public. And so a malicious user or like an attacker really knows how to prompt these models well. And so they can ask these free models to give them sensitive information that has it's been trained on, right? And then that data is leaked. So again, trying to prevent these things in the workplace is incredibly important. So we don't want customer data going out to the web, right? Or social security numbers or financial data, right? And so Microsoft has designed this solution around Copilot, both paid Copilot and Copilot Chat, to answer that problem and to solve that problem, right? And so a key takeaway is that your data is not used to train this model when you're using Copilot Chat with your work account or the full paid M365 Copilot. And so unlike those free models, when you're using these, even the free version of Copilot, whatever data that you put into it is not getting trained on. So that data is never going to become public. The model will never know of it, and no one else can access that data. So it's a very key point. It's a very important thing that Microsoft is addressing head on, and it's why we really recommend folks to use the Copilot solutions in the enterprise space. The other one is that your chat data is not saved. So all the stuff that you put into that chat, that Copilot chat, Microsoft cannot view that. So they can't go in and at a whim sort of pull any sort of chat information and go through it, right? It all stays with you. And then tying into that, another main thing is that your business data is protected. And so any data that you give to Copilot Chat, or in this case, let's say you upload some OneDrive documents or things like that, that data stays within your tenant. So it doesn't go out to the public internet. It stays with you inside your organization. So you have that sort of confidence that it's not going to leak outside of the organization by using these AI tools. And then still kind of going alongside of that, issues with AI at work and sort of the concerns with it, right, is this idea of shadow AI. So I'm sure you've heard of shadow IT, and shadow AI is the same kind of idea, right? So it's basically just unapproved or unknown AI tools within an organization. So oftentimes, your IT is not going to know about these tools. They don't know that they're being used. They don't know that people are, using ChatGPT as an example. And so this becomes really risky because of all the things that we've previously talked about, all that data becoming public. And so, sure, maybe personal queries and things like that, or just asking questions about the weather or a trip that you're planning or things like that. There's probably data in there that if it's public, it's not really a big deal. But when you get into that business space, when you're dealing with customers and financial data and credit cards and things like that, you don't want to take the risk. You don't want to take the chance of having that data become public, because someone somewhere will know how to access that data, and they're going to use that to their advantage. It's going to be in a negative way, right? So again, we're sort of reducing the risk here with Copilot and Copilot Chat by using those instead of having the sort of Wild West approach of allowing people to use whatever they prefer, but now we have no idea, that those tools are being used, and if those tools get breached, then how do we know, right? How do we know that they're getting breached? If we don't even know that they're in our environment, then we might not pay attention to that, right? The list kind of goes on of some of the dangers with those. So again, that's why we talk about this sort of Copilot for all approach. Obviously, from Microsoft's chair, of course, they want people using their products, but just from a technical security standpoint, it makes a lot of sense why people would use this in the enterprise space. So obviously, we also know that not everybody in every organization is going to have a Copilot license. It's great to start people off who are more of your power users or folks who are really invested in AI to start off with those paid licenses, and that's wonderful. But there may be some job functions that just don't need a Copilot license. Maybe there are folks who don't use the Office suite all that much, and so they wouldn't really get the full use out of the paid license. Well, they can still use AI at work and not be behind the curve of everybody else using AI, these AI tools to help them in their day-to-day, but you can give them that access with Copilot Chat, and then it's a secure form of using AI. So like I said, it's kind of a, we want to push the entire solution, not just hey, everybody needs to be on this paid Copilot license. We know that's not realistic. And so having both options available to us to allow for this secure AI every single day is incredibly important and very high value to deliver to folks. Okay, so next up, still on the Copilot side, I do want to just talk quickly about some of the prompting. And so if you don't know what prompting is, it's basically just how you ask Copilot to do something for you. So it's like creating something or summarizing an email thread or a document, things like that. It's kind of like just having a conversation with Copilot or with your assistant, I should say, because it really is that conversational element in between you and this tool. And it is a little bit of an art and science. There's not one correct way to do it, but some people have their various methods of going about it. And so there are some different ingredients that you kind of put into these prompts to really help Copilot deliver a good end result to you. And so the biggest one being the goal. Obviously, what is your goal for Copilot? What do you want Copilot to do? Without that, of course, it's not going to know what to do. So that is always, to me, the most important ingredient, sort of how you start every single dish or every single prompt, right, is with that goal. And then you have context. So, basically, why do you need this information? How is it relevant to what you're doing and to Copilot, so we can kind of build that into its response back to you. And then we have our source. So, sort of putting the focus area on Copilot, or sort of the like horse blinders a little bit to make sure that Copilot is not going outside of the boundary of sort of what you are looking for from it, right? A good example in this example here is, focusing on email and Teams chat since June. If I don't include since June, maybe it goes back, the entire year, and then it's way too much information for me to go in and look at, right? So again, just kind of putting that focus in for Copilot. And then finally, our expectations. So, how do you want Copilot to respond or best meet sort of the expectation that you have of the creation or things like that? So general rule of thumb, I always tell people the more specific or advanced you want the end result, the more specific and advanced the prompt needs to be. Not every prompt that I do includes all these parts, but when I want something that's really specific, then I have to include them in order to get that best result from Copilot. So just keep this conversation going, right? When you start using Copilot, if something doesn't work right or something, isn't quite what you were looking for, just try again. You're not going to be locked out if something doesn't work. It is that conversation back and forth between you and this AI assistant. So, just be open with it. And if something doesn't work, just try again and, tell Copilot, hey, that's not what I was looking for. Let's do something else with this prompt, right? Another kind of guideline I tell people on this front is, if you're kind of stuck with prompting, I always ask Copilot to build prompts for me. So if I'm stuck with, maybe I know my end result and I kind of know maybe some sources that I want to give Copilot, but not really sure of the in between, I ask Copilot to build a prompt for me based on that information. And so it'll kind of kick back a really long prompt, and then I can either copy and paste that or just edit it myself and then put that into Copilot. And most of the time it gives me what I'm looking for. So then on the side of Copilot and Windows 11, and then of course our Copilot Plus PCs. So the way I kind of think about them is more of like a better together story, right? So Microsoft has really been developing Windows 11 for Copilot users, right? They know that this M365 Copilot is something that they want to sell to everybody in the future, and so they're making a lot of investments and a lot of decisions around Windows 11 to really support that goal, right? So, we have incredibly deep integration of Copilot into the OS of Windows 11. There's a ton of plugins like Josh talked about. Um, all the things, Copilot Vision and Recall and things like that. All of these things are, native to Windows 11 for our Copilot users. So it's a very AI forward, AI focused sort of operating system, right? Windows 10 doesn't have that stuff because it wasn't really built with this stuff in mind, right? So you can't really fault it for not doing it. It just wasn't, AI wasn't of the times back when Windows 10 was sort of at the height of its role, right? And so you can't say that about Windows 11. There's a lot of things being built into this OS that are very good for Copilot users. So then when you tie in Copilot Plus PCs, that's where you get that sort of better together story, right? Because those PCs have those dedicated NPUs, you're able to take that extra workload off of your existing hardware, the AI workloads, and put that onto the NPU. And so your AI systems like Copilot, they run faster on a Copilot Plus PC. The battery runs more efficiently on that device. There are things built into, you can run certain agents on your actual device now instead of having it only be cloud-based as one example, right? Because of that NPU. And so as we start just thinking more towards the future, this is where those devices come in, right? So if you're up on renewals, maybe you haven't had a device refresh since like 2020, right? The best place to give your folks the leg up with AI, your AI forward people, is to get onto a Copilot Plus PC, right? To get them kind of ready for the future of what these things are going to offer in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, that kind of cycle. Today, I really appreciate it. I love talking about Copilot. So with that being said, I will pass it back off to Josh to kind of close us out and talk about some resources.
Thanks, Jack. I really appreciate it. Lots of really good information, lots of really, really good examples of, how Copilot can make our lives easier. These were some, basic stuff that Copilot can do. As I mentioned, so much more complex stuff that it can do for you to make your lives a lot easier. I, for instance, used it the other day. I had a request for some marketing funds from one of our Accelerate partners for Windows 11. And they came back from marketing and said, no problem, but here's the criteria that they need to meet. I sent that off to the partner and the end user, and eventually they came back with the data that was filled out. And I went ahead and I took that information and I plugged it in with what Microsoft was asking for. And I said, does what the partner provided back to me match what Microsoft is looking for? And it came back and it said, it matches all the criteria needed except for this. And it took, less than 20, 30 seconds for me to get that information, but for me to plug it in and for me to get that information back and for me to get back with the partner and say, hey, this is what, we're missing. Can you please fill this in so that we can go ahead and get you your money? So something that normally before I started using Copilot would have taken me several emails and so much time back and forth, ended up taking me no time at all. And, we sit here and, we work hard and, you know, all the work that we do, we just sit and we say, how much time can we get back to ourselves? So there's still so much to do at the end of the day. Well, Copilot's what helps me get back all that time at the end of the day. So it's definitely something that's here. It's here to stay. It's, changing everything, including devices. So with the MPU chip being available and, a lot of people needing to refresh their devices internally, you need to take a look at everybody that you guys have and see who needs a Copilot Plus PC, who needs an AI PC, who just needs a Windows 11 refresh. But no matter what you do, I would try and steer away from any kind of Windows 10 ESU just because this is a different refresh than any of the ones we've had in the previous years. I mean, the last one we had was 10 years ago in 2015, and things were a lot different then. So like Jack was saying, this is completely different time and day we live in with AI being out. But I wanted to share a couple of resources here with you guys. This one, if you're not sure if your PC is able to hold the Windows 11, you can go here. It'll give you a red light, green light, yellow light, and let you know what you need to do if it's a PC that'll actually take the Windows 11 refresh. If it's not, you need to refresh the device. Please reach out to my team. We're here to help you no matter what, whether that be just with device refresh or even OS refresh. We're here to use of the PC health. Basically, you go here, and it's on Microsoft's website, and it'll give you a red light, green light, yellow light, letting you know what you need to do. And again, these resources right here, Amanda will pass these out and get you guys the resources after today. But I want to appreciate give you everybody. Looks like we went about a minute over. I was going to say I want to give everybody back some time to their day, but we're right at an hour. So I do appreciate everybody's time today. Thank you very